In a small town nestled among rolling green hills, there lived a quiet boy named Rian. His world was simple, yet full of curiosity, while other children played in the dusty streets. Rian wandered around, collecting broken toys, scraps of wood, bits of wire, and anything that seemed useful. His backyard became a small workshop where his imagination turned trash into tiny inventions. One bright afternoon, Rian's science teacher handed each student a glass jar. Inside, hundreds of tiny black ants moved in constant motion. The lid was sealed, but small holes allowed air in. "Take this home," said the teacher. "Observe them for a week. Pay attention to how they try, how they fail, and what they learn." Rian placed the jar by his window, the sunlight casting tiny dancing shadows on the walls. Each day, he watched the ants climb the smooth glass walls. Again and again, they slipped and fell. He counted their attempts silently, marveling at their persistence. On the first day, Rian smiled at their determination. By the third day, he noticed some ants slipping more often, but still trying. By the seventh day, however, something strange happened. The ants no longer attempted to climb. Even when Rian carefully removed the lid, they stayed at the bottom of the jar, wandering as if invisible walls still confined them. Confused, he asked his teacher the next day, "Why don't they leave?" "The jar is open." The teacher looked at him gently. They learned from failure that escape is impossible. They no longer test their limits. Sometimes, we do the same without realizing it. The words stayed with Rian. He thought about them every day as he built his small machines. Each failure teaching him a new lesson. Years passed, and Rian grew. He dreamed of becoming an engineer, designing machines that could help his town. But the road wasn't easy. One day, he faced a difficult entrance exam. He studied hard, but failed. The thought of the ants returned, and he whispered to himself, "I guess I'm not smart enough." For weeks, he stopped building, stopped dreaming, and stopped believing. His notebook gathered dust, his tools lay forgotten. One evening, a power outage blanketed the town in darkness. Rian sat under the stars, listening to the soft rustle of leaves. A small spider struggled nearby, rebuilding its web between two branches. The wind tore the strands repeatedly. Once, twice, 5 times. Still, the spider continued its work. Rian watched quietly, remembering the ants and the jar. The realization struck him like a gentle wind. The jar had been open all along. The walls had been in their minds. That night, he opened his old notebook. Slowly, he began to rebuild his confidence. Experimenting with small projects, testing ideas, failing, and trying again. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The next year, Rian took the exam again. He passed. Years later, he became known in his town for designing simple machines that helped farmers carry water uphill and lift heavy loads. One day, speaking to students at his old school, Rian held up an empty glass jar. "Failure can teach you two things," he said, "how to stop, or how to try differently. The choice is yours." Sometimes, the walls around us are real, but often, they exist only because we stop trying to climb.